What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I'm going to talk about some more dysfunction when it comes to Congress. And we've gone through a lot in the last year. I mean, Congress is always dysfunctional, but they are exceptionally dysfunctional, I'd say, in the last year and a half. It's just been amazing, some of the stuff that is going on in Congress. You can just look at the characters in Congress and know that there's something really wrong. But what I want to talk about today, I want to talk about this whole border, securing the border. And, you have all these politicians talking about we need to secure the border. We have open borders. We have open borders. And right now in the Senate, they're putting this bipartisan bill together, trying to provide money for the border as well as provide some money for Ukraine. And this is getting a lot of people are talking about this right now because you have former President Trump weighing in on this and saying, don't go with this border bill. Now, we've heard politicians, and usually they're coming from the right. You have Republicans that are saying we have open borders. We have open borders. This is money that can go to the border to help seal up the border, help with the wall, reconstructing the wall where it needs to be reconstructed, as far as more Border Patrol agents, as far as more people, more assistance for the people who are coming in. And then this bill also has stricter requirements for people seeking asylum. And so what's the problem? What's the big problem with this? I'm going to show you guys a video clip, and then we're going to talk a little bit about this because it's amazing to me. Do we have politicians that represent us, or do we actually have politicians, all they want to do is win? They don't care about representing us, and they're actually using the pain and suffering that we're going through. They're using that as a tool in order to get elected. That's all it's about. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about it more in depth, watch a video, and then I have a lot to say when it comes to this, because this is the kind of stuff that really upsets me, because we're paying these politicians, we're paying their salary, and this is how they're acting. Okay. And I told you former President Trump is basically saying he doesn't want them to move forward with this bill. But former President Trump is no longer president. So you have Congress here that should be representing the American people. And so in my opinion, they shouldn't be listening to someone who is not a part of Congress. He's no longer elected. And so they should be listening to their constituents, but they're not. So we'll talk about it. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And just a reminder, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter and Threads, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and watch this. And like I said, I have a lot to say, but I'm going to refrain from saying a lot because I don't think I have to when it comes to this. You've had politicians for years talk about the border and how we need funding for the border. And now finally, you have both Democrats and Republicans in the Senate. We're talking leadership. Mitch McConnell, who's a Republican, Chuck Schumer, who's a Democrat, they're both leaders in the Senate. They have come to an agreement. But guess what? The House, they don't want to move forward. And so if the Senate passes this bill, which they have support to pass it right now, it goes to the House, and now the House is going to want to either make changes or they're just not going to vote on it at all. And I think realistically, the strategy is not to vote on it at all. And the main reason for that is they can use this as a campaign issue. So all these people that are flooding in and fentanyl and all the stuff that's coming over the border, now they don't want to do anything about it because they can use this for the 2024 election. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you guys this clip and then we'll talk about it. Here we go.
Meanwhile, back here in Washington, a bipartisan group of senators are trying to salvage a very fragile deal to overhaul our nation's immigration laws and provide more funding for Ukraine. CBS's Scott MacFarlane reports there are concerns that Donald Trump is trying to kill the deal to help win an election.
A month-long negotiation to bolster the U.S. border is on life support. In a closed-door meeting yesterday, Republican leader Mitch McConnell warned Donald Trump might want to make immigration a campaign issue, threatening GOP support for any deal.
On day one, I will seal the border and I will shut down the invasion of our country. It's an invasion.
The idea that someone running for president would say, please hurt the country so I can blame my opponent and help my politics is a shocking development.
Senators are trying to save their effort to overhaul immigration law, which would also pump tens of billions of dollars into Ukraine for its war against Russia.
We are negotiating in good faith and want to get this done in a bipartisan way.
Will Trump have the ability to kill this immigration deal?
Well, I think there's not a deal to be killed yet.
South Carolina's Lindsey Graham says he's urging Trump to get behind the border negotiations, which he says are ongoing tonight.
I will say to President Trump, if we can put this package together, you'll have more tools to secure America than you've ever had.
Among proposals being discussed, making it easier to expel migrants when border crossings spike, and raising the requirements to claim asylum in the U.S. Hanging in the balance, emergency money to help Ukraine replenish its weapons and equipment, as the Biden administration says the Pentagon has run out of money for Ukraine.
We have the Ukrainian aid. It's vulgar and evil that anyone would turn our backs now on Ukraine right now.
But that's also facing resistance from some Trump allies. Is there a risk the Ukraine money falls apart too? That the Ukraine component also gets killed here?
I hope so, because I don't like that either.
We spent the day trying to determine if Trump was trying to kill this border deal, and moments ago he eliminated any suspense in a statement saying a border deal is a gift to Democrats. JB?
Scott McFarland on Capitol Hill, thank you.
Okay, so there you have it. I don't know what else to say. You saw that they were talking, I guess former President Trump tweeted or did whatever truth or whatever he does on his platform, and basically said this would be a gift to Democrats. So passing a border bill would be a gift to Democrats. Now, sure, the bill has money for Ukraine. They've been going back and forth when it comes to that. But that's all part of a compromise. You're never going to get everything that you want. And so you compromise and you say, okay, you know what? I'll give you some money for Ukraine as long as we can get this money for the border so we can have more agents there. We can seal up the border. We can reconstruct some of the wall that needs to be reconstructed. And then one of the important things that they talked about was the asylum seekers, making it a little more difficult. So making it a little more challenging for those people to come in. And so that's the vast majority of people who are coming over right now, they're seeking asylum, and that's how they're able to stay here. So if you make the requirements a little more stringent, you might not have as many people coming over. And so we need to do more. I think this is just a beginning because they need to have immigration reform on top of this. But you're turning away money that can be going to the border right now to fix the crisis. But you heard former President Trump is saying he doesn't want to fix the crisis. He wants to do it himself on day one. So he doesn't want to fix it right now. And so with his plan, he wants us to wait until January 20th of 2025 to do something about this whole border crisis. It's crazy to me that you have people in Congress right now that are allowing this. Sometimes I get really fired up when it comes to Congress and just lawmakers in general, because they're not doing anything. They're not representing the American people, and we're paying them $174,000 a year, and they're doing nothing. And then when they have an opportunity to do something that they've been talking about for ever since Biden came into office, automatically the borders are open. And now they're talking about closing up the borders, and guess what? They don't want to do anything. It makes no sense to me. I want to know what you guys think, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.